The 417Gamers is a group of board, tabletop, and card gamers in the 417 area code. This is the podcast. Welcome to the 417Gamer podcast, episode 45, The Ones with Trends in Gaming. In the 4, we talk about 4 games that we've been enjoying recently: Dice Miner, Obsession, Knitting Circle, and Bad Company. In the one topic of the show, Jess from Village Meeple, she comes back and joins us. We talk about trends in gaming, what we like, what we don't care for, some of the stuff we've been noticing recently. And in the 7, we talk about 7 trends that we do like. Without further ado, the 417Gamer podcast. Welcome to the 417Gamer podcast. My name is Rick.
And I'm Andrea.
In the 4, we like to discuss 4 games that we've been enjoying recently. Andrea, why don't we kick it off with Dice Miner? Dice Miner is... Well, there was a stack of games that I acquired from somebody in the 417 Gamer group. We got Guillotine, we played it, and we are happy to float it on. We talked about that in last month.
Yeah.
Another one from that stack is Dice Miner, designed by Joshua DeBonis and Nicola Risteski. It's published by Atlas Games. In Dice Miner, it's a dice drafting game, and you assemble this cardboard mountain tower that you pour all the dice into. Then whenever you draft the dice, whatever face is facing you, that is what that dice power has. And they have different things, like the gold is gold. You're trying to collect gold. Then you have pickaxes, which they do 2 different things. So there are potential dragons, and there are potential cave-ins. The pickaxes help you stave off the cave-ins that may hurt you. And then the shields help guard you from the dragon attacks.
Right.
Then the white dice have like a multiplication for points. And then there's the blue dice that are magic. The magic are basically rerolls. Mm-hmm. So when you draft the die, you may not care for its value, but then you have these rerolls to reroll. In addition, every die in the game has a beer face. And on your turn, when it's time to draft, you can give one of those beer dice to one of your opponents. You roll it, give it to them, or give it to them and they roll it, regardless. Then the new face is what they get. And then whenever you give them that beer dice, you get to draft 2 dice at the same time. Because whenever you usually draft, you have to draft whatever's on top. And the die that is on top is any die that does not have dice on either side of its top side, because they're slotted in there diagonally. So as long as there's no dice on either side of its top face, you can draft it. However, whenever you do a beer die, you can draft anything from the sides as well as a top. And you can draft 2. So in the white dice, you're trying to get like a sequence. The higher the sequence, the more points. And if you get multiple of a number, then it starts a new sequence. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 points. But if you get 2 ones, that second one starts a new sequence. No bueno. It was a fun little game. We've played it with some friends, and it's a cute family weight game. It's got that toy factor because it sits in that little mountain tower. It's fun to restock. There's also asymmetrical player powers that you can play with, or you could just ignore. But I thought it was a fun little game. What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. It had a very, dwarves from the Lord of the Rings-esque feel to it. Quick, simple little dice rolling game. Played it with my brother. He enjoyed it too. Not a big gamer, but he liked the theme. And it's a small box game too, so I don't mind keeping it around.
Understood. What's the second game we're going to talk about?
Obsession.
Yeah. Are you obsessed?
A little bit.
This is designed by Dan Halligan and published by Kayenta Games.
It is basically Downton Abbey in a box.
Yeah.
So if you were a big fan of the Masterpiece Theater TV show like I was, But you really, really like this game, and you never watched Downton Abbey.
Nope.
So
Because
I don't know. You hate
the mechanics.
Oh,
I
right.
love the mechanics. Holy crap! And it's on your player board. It's got everything you do in order. First, you rotate your service. Then you select what activity you want to do. Then you grab service of the servants that you have available to go do the thing. Then you do. Then you make sure you have all the prerequisites. Then you provide favors, get favors, activate all the things that you can. End your turn. Mm-hmm. Send all the people. So the people you play as cards. Mm-hmm. I'll let you play. Talk about this.
Oh, well, the family members and the gentry are cards, but your household staff are meeples. Mm-hmm. You've got butlers, valets, ladies' maids, housekeeper, and under butler. Ooh. Under butler's wild.
He is so wild.
And you rotate them through service, so you'll have them on active duty, which means they are accompanying one of your cards. Like if one of your ladies is going on to tea, she'll want to take her lady's maid with her. And you have to, each card has requirements of which of your staff must accompany them to be able to use them that turn. And then after you've used them, they go to sleep. They go to the inactive portion of your board. And you're able to rotate through your service like that. But I think it's a nice little addition to the theme that they're off duty and they're sleeping. You can't use them until they come back.
Unless you have the right family.
That's true.
So the base game comes with 4 families. Man, Asquith is one of the names that pops in my head. There's 3 other families. Do you remember any of them?
I don't, because they're not from the show.
Aw. York.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is, Kitty. Anyway, every family has their own power.
Powers, yeah.
One family starts with more money.
Yeah.
One family starts with an extra butler. One family, whenever you send your people to the ready room or the sleep rooms, mm-hmm. you can pull one of those people back out to be readied up the next round.
Yes.
So they're not that kind of their slaves. And then another family starts with an additional character in your hand.
Yeah.
Which is really, really pivotal when you're playing that game, because whenever you're doing these events, you need cards from your hand. Those are the characters that you're inviting to your house to do mm-hmm. the things.
Yeah.
Going bowling on the lawn,
right.
or as you going to tea, or using your family members to plan for the county mm-hmm. fair.
One thing I both like and don't like about this game is it goes pretty quickly when it's just the 2 of us playing. Yeah. A 4-player game took us quite a bit longer, but when it's just us 2, I feel like I'm just hitting my stride and the game's over.
Well, and we've only played the short game so far. That's 16 rounds.
That's true. I have not played with the expansion.
Well, not just the expansion, but when you flip it on the backside, it's 20 rounds, I think.
Yeah.
It's longer, I should say that.
Got it.
But that is...
Yeah, it's... BGG is saying 35 minutes for a 2 to 4 player game, yeah. which
it's deceptively quick, as you just said. It's got a little bit of a setup, and there's a little bit of a teach. But once everybody knows what's going, it clicks on cylinders. It's got the theme that you like. It's got the mechanics I like, and it was so good when Ben and Leandra from Not Safe for Worker Placement podcast and our cohorts at Moon City Con taught us the game. We kicked off a game off of our 10x10 list and put this on there.
We did.
And we also are looking at the expansions, which some of them are sold out right now.
They are.
And they are on our wish lists for, maybe we'll be good for the wintertime, and the jolly guy in red will come.
Maybe Santa will be listening to this podcast.
We write it correctly, Let's see here. The next one we're going to talk about is Knitting Circle. Knitting Circle is a game you haven't got to play yet. We were planning on going to the Village Meeple Castle Combo Tournament, and you were feeling a little under the weather that day.
I was.
So you stayed home and told me to go combo those castles, and I didn't combo the castles well enough to get to the final round. But congratulations to Justin, who won it. Josh and Alan, friend of the show, who made it the finals.
That's right.
Jess, who's going to be on here later, she also made the finals, but Justin won it. Anyway, after we were done, or while we were waiting for the finals, Sansa, who's been on the show, and we hope to have her down the road on another episode, she just got Knitting Circle. So Knitting Circle is by Flat Out Games. It's designed by Emily Vincent, and the artist is Beth Sobel. Beth Sobel's art is so great. But this is in the Calico universe. Calico is also by Flat Out Games. Calico is a game where you're taking hexagonal tiles and you're putting on them on a board in different patterns to score points and to attract kitties to come lay on your bed. So there's tile placement and all that stuff. And I really like that game. This is in the same universe, but is not the same. So what you do is you start with these patterns for clothes. You have long johns, sweaters, scarves, mittens, hats, and one other thing.
Is it sweaters?
I already said sweaters.
Oh.
There's 6 different clothing items. When you start, everybody's going to draft one. You're going to start with that. You're also going to, at random, start with 2 pieces of yarn. And from then on, there's a round track. It's a round player board that 2 more pieces at each interval of the yarn is going to be placed. And they can either be placed on their solid color side or their stripy side, but they had a name for it. Anyway, on your turn, your kitty can move 1 to 3 places to go grab the next yarn piece you want. You get to grab either one that's in the stack of 2, and then you do 2 things. A, you take the piece you want, but you also block a spot for anybody else that wants that, because they'll have to go over you. When you're counting spaces, you count every space that you can land in. If there's another kitty there, you have to go past them. And your kitties are your moving pieces to go select the fabric. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you're going to gather enough yarn. When the round ends, you can then build clothes. Or I think it's crafting. So you take your yarn and you start putting it on the things in the right particular order. On some of the cards, when you fill enough of the fabric on there, you get to grab just a blind piece to put it on your board. Or you could get extra points or scoring. But once you have your clothing done, you have some button tokens that you've put on your board. And they have extra scoring benefits. Like if you did stripes, which means you have to have colors that alternate. Or blocking, which means you have to have colors that are the same for at least 2 sections. And then they can change off and on. You have, what was it? Symmetrical, where it's what is it where the word goes backwards and forwards the same? Palindrome. Same backwards and forwards, but in a color. It was fun. It was cute. It is not Calico. It's in the same universe. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking, hey, more Calico, it is not that.
Right.
I thought it was really good. I prefer Calico if you told me I had to pick one, but it is different enough to where I think you could have both and be just fine with it.
Nice.
But it's a cute little game. I say try it if you can, especially we're still in convention season. So if you can find an AEG, I think, is publishing in stateside. Flat Out, I think, is the European publisher. So if you find either booth that has either the Flat Out version or the AEG version, sit down, play a little demo, see if it's right for you. That was Knitting Circle. Andrea, what is the 4th game we're going to talk about?
Bad Company. Bad
Company is published by Aporta Games. It is designed by Kenneth Mendy, Christian Osman Otsby, and Elis Svensson. What is Bad Company?
Well, you're hanging out with some bad company.
You are.
We like this game because it plays really well at high player count. We played it in 6. It was we had a group of 6, and we were looking for something that would play all of us. Still plays pretty quickly. Basically, you are getting your your team together, your gang together, and you're doing a heist. You're stealing things and you're running from the cops. And you're collecting cards that are improve the powers of your characters or your gang. And you also have your little car running on the board down the street. And every turn you roll dice and you choose both to use the dice roll for which of your team members you use for that particular heist. And there's one black dice, and however many pips come up on the black dice is how far the cop car comes forward. And if you don't want to get caught by the cops, obviously, because your teams are bad guys.
So as your getaway car is going around the board, there's bonuses you can hit. So extra jewels, a reroll, stuff like that. But if the cop car is where you are or past you, you can't get the bonuses because they're watching you. But the active player gets to roll. There's 4 dice, and they pick 2, and those are their active dice, and that activates potentially 2 of their crew members. And the crew members go 2 to 11. No, 3 to 11. Because the 2, everybody has the same person that gives them... It locks them in for other check marks, wild check marks, and everybody's 12 is 2 steering wheels that drives a car forward spaces. So whenever the active player gets both, but the inactive players only get 1, which is something we did wrong for a couple rounds. We forgot it'd been a moon or 2 since we had played Bad Company. But yeah, it played 6 well. When you're sitting at 6 and everybody wants to stick together, I love 7 Wonders, and I would have absolutely played that. But last time we played Bad Company, I think we played it at 3 or 4, and it was like, oh, this is really good. So you don't know how well a game's going to play at 6 until you just jump into it.
Yeah.
This one's great at 6.
It really was.
That was the 4 in the 417Gamer podcast. In the 1, we're going to be joined by a friend. Jess from Village Meeple comes back. I love it. She's always down to record. We appreciate her. We appreciate Village Meeple. Having a friendly local board game cafe in Springfield is wonderful.
Yes.
So check us on the other side of the break, and she'll be here. We will talk trends in gaming.
All right.
As the dog goes and runs after the cat. Have you heard of We Teach Wednesdays at Village Meeple? Andrea and I partnered with Jess at Village Meeple. We did a We Teach Saturday event at Moon City Con, but that was inspired by their own event. Every Wednesday, Village Meeple picks a game they want to teach you. Want to find out what's on deck from them? Go to their website at villagemeeple.com, find out the game, go out there and learn. They're fantastic teachers. And if you're lucky, maybe they have it in stock and you can take it home. That's villagemeeple.com. The 1 is the topic of the show, and we've been joined by one of our friends, Jess. Hello.
Hello.
She's the proprietor of Village Meeple, our friendly local board gaming cafe here in Springfield, Missouri. She's joining us for our topic is trends in gaming. A lot of times when we get into gaming, we kind of notice that certain things prevail sometimes each year to year or over several years. So we're going to go through some questions. What's your favorite trend in gaming design in the last few years? Jess?
I feel like there's been a greater focus on better artwork than before. I feel like artwork has always been such a crucial part of some games.
Yeah.
But lately I feel like the artists have really upped their game, and the cuteness or the wow or the, oh, that's really cool factor, I feel like is really hitting its stride. Some of the games, like, you want to put them on your wall. They're so cool looking.
Yeah.
And I think there's some artists that people just look for their games now, like a Vincent Dutrait or a Beth Sobel.
Yes, exactly. So like the Flamecraft, I'm blanking on her name, Sandra. Something like that. Like, you can pick out her style over different types of games.
Yeah.
There was a game that's coming out soon, and then they showed me a thing of it, and I was like, it looks like you flame crafted yourself. And he's like, it's the same artist. So, like, you can pick them out like that. And I think that's cool that they are branching into different publishers as well.
Sandra Tang is the artist
Sandra
on
Tang.
Flame
Hey, I
Craft.
was half right. Look at that.
Andrea, what's some gaming trends that you've...
I think I've noticed a lot of independent publishers. When we went to Geekway this year for the first time, they had an entire ballroom set up to indie designers doing demos for their games. First time for them to do that. I think
they felt like they kind of got lost in the shuffle in the big sales floor area. Because you have Miniature Market that always has like 3 to 4 sections. You have Capstone that was there this year. You have Stonemaier Games that always has a few tables. And they have the big elaborate sets, which is nice. And All Play also has a great little booth there. Not little, they had a big booth.
They had a big booth this year.
Yeah.
But it almost felt like it kind of overshadowed some of the little guys.
Sure.
But yes, just behind that, there was, like you said, a whole room dedicated to small publishers. We talked to a group. They did a wrestling game. I think it was called SRG. Cute little wrestling game. They also were demoing a pirate game. But there were several other indie publishers, very passionate designers that were, hawking their game and trying to get you to buy them. And it was interesting seeing them.
That room was really cool. I liked going there too. There was a guy that had a national parks game that he's putting out, and he did all of the pictures and the photography in it, and he'll actually put in it the longitude and latitude of where he took the picture too.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. If you're like, I love that picture, you could actually go find it, like find that landmark or whatever. So I thought that's kind of a cool touch.
I also like the trend in gaming that it seems like games are being made to where people can pimp out their games themselves. A lot of them have come out with deluxe components, but there's also some games that almost feel like the pieces in them are ready for you to go ahead and deluxify them yourself if you want to. And I really do enjoy that. It helps kind of prolong the life of some of our games, and it also makes us want to go back to the game when it's a little bit nicer.
Oh, absolutely. It was like Lords of Waterdeep. All of us have tricked out our copies and are like, ooh, what do you got?
You got some coins. Do you have the mat?
Have you seen the mat, the neoprene mat? Like, stop.
We have one.
Stop it. You're so fancy.
We do like the Lords of Waterdeep. It's on our 10x10, but we only have 2 plays thus far this year.
Yeah, we got to get on.
It's like, you got to get your butt in here and I'll play with you.
Yeah.
It's one of Sarah's favorites too.
Oh, love it.
It's like, soon as we like, oh yeah, we love this game, we get to the I would say right friend, but it's probably wrong friend. They're like, do we have to play that? We don't have to, but I wanted to.
I think we maybe should get rid of that friend. It's time to let them
No,
go.
that friend taught us Red Cathedral, and Red Cathedral.
Red Cathedral's one of my favorites.
And I get it. You hit just those certain games that don't.
Yeah, I do.
Like the Dune Imperium. Everybody loved the Dune Imperium, and I played it at the same time that we played Lost Ruins of Arnak and Endless Winter.
Yeah.
I loved Arnak and Dune Imperium. If I never played it again, I'd be fine.
It didn't do it for me either. So that's really, I think you're maybe the only person I've ever heard say that.
Yeah.
So I've read the Dune books and I like them fine, but that I'm sure if you were a huge fan, that would resonate more. But even people that aren't really like that game, and it missed for me. I don't know what I missed on it, but
Yeah.
One more trend I'm going to say that I have noticed is IP games that don't suck.
yeah. Yes.
I don't care for the Dune Imperium game, but I do recognize the mechanics in there are good mechanics.
Yeah.
And then the Jaws game that was put out by
Is it Ravensburger?
Is it Ravensburger or was it Funko?
No, you might be right. It might be Funko.
One of those.
It was really good.
It was not bad at all.
I liked it.
It was cute. It knew its audience. It knew what it was and knew what it wasn't.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
What trends do you not care for in the last few years? What's your least favorite trend in gaming?
It's my least favorite trend in gaming. I feel like lately they've been increasing the player count and trying to be accommodating and trying to be everything to everybody. And some games just don't play that way. Like, I'm trying to think of the game we played the other day. Oh, Ruins from All Play. Great game if you haven't played it, but it's 2 to 5 players, and it's essentially kind of a trick taker. Like, we don't play trick takers at 2. It's not good at 2. So just things like that where I'm like, you could do that at 2, I guess, but you shouldn't. And I feel like sometimes if you've got it at those player counts and people play it, they're going to miss how great that game is because they played it at the wrong player count.
And it used to be the opposite, like Catan and Seven Wonders, where it was played quite a few people, and then they had a 2-player version that kind of worked, but kind of didn't. Andrea, any trends that you haven't really cared for in the last few years?
I have noticed that there have been a lot of extremely similar games where there's just one little tiny thing that's different. And I don't think that, we're like, we pretty much already have this game.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a new game, make a whole new game. Yeah. Don't just make the same game with one little tiny piece different. There's a lot you can do. You don't have to remake the same game again.
Yep.
And then sometimes it feels like people jump onto a theme to all kind of coattail, because you had like Dog Park and then Dog Walker and there was like one other one after that too. Was a Bark Avenue, and those all came in within about a year and a half of each other.
Right now it's
2.
mushroom games. Like you can't throw a rock without hitting a mushroom game right now.
But I think those are my least favorite. Oh, deck building and everything. I'm not the biggest deck building fan, so that's probably my yuck, where everybody probably loves deck building getting shoved into every game, but let's do some other mechanics.
No, it has its place, but it doesn't. Nothing needs to be in every game, for sure.
Do you feel that trends open creativity, or do you think they stifle, or maybe a little bit of both?
I feel like I personally think they might actually stifle a little bit. I feel like once all these mushroom games come out, I feel like you're being like, oh, that game hit really well.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the case. I know it takes years sometimes to put these games out. So I think maybe it was just like that bad luck where, like when those 2 movies come out at the same time, like they don't come out overnight.
Right.
But sometimes I think that everyone's like, well, mushroom games are so hot right now, or dragon games are great. We should do a dragon game too. And I feel like sometimes we're kind of like too tunnel visioned into that and not able to look up and try to come up with something else.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. I do like that when there are different versions. What I just said I didn't like. One thing I do like about that is sometimes you'll get a version that has better components, and you're like, okay, I can see this game lasting longer, or us playing this one more just because of the component aspect.
Yeah. What trends in gaming themes have you been noticing in the last couple years? You used to allude to the mushroom game.
I've definitely mentioned mushrooms a lot. I'm looking around. We're sitting in my back office, which is covered in games everywhere because we're disorganized right now. So I'm kind of looking around. I think mushrooms is a big one. Fairies has been a bigger one too. Kind of that whimsical aspect. So fairies, dragons, mushrooms, magic, that kind of thing. A lot of mythical or different kinds of creatures, like Wondrous Creatures, Everbloom, where they're hodgepodges of different kinds of animals. I've been seeing a ton of that, which I'm here for. I like it. I feel like it leans itself to that really good art, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I've also noticed a lot of botanical type games with like flowers or gardens or that type of thing.
Anthropomorphic animals. There's been a lot of those lately. I'm looking at Campy Creatures, Creature Comforts, Capybara, and I know that's from Kids Table Board Games, and we really enjoy their games. And then nature. I mean, the Cascadias, and as you alluded to, the parks, and we're looking at alpine trails. Then there's just trails, and then there's trekking.
And parks and...
Yes.
Yeah.
So many
because it's pretty and cozy. I feel like cozy is something we all would gravitate to at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like there's any gamer out there that's like, I never want to play cozy. Like, sometimes you're just in the mood to not brain and be like, well, that was a lovely experience. I'll destroy you in Lords and Waterdeep later, but for right now, we're going to flip some tiles in Cascadia.
Nice.
Yeah, I do like a nice, just breezy game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Palette cleanser.
Beacon Patrol and A Gentle Rain, both of those are games that we can just sit down on a day like, I want to play something, but I don't want to think.
Yep, absolutely.
So, those are some of our thoughts on gaming trends. Let's go into the 7 and discuss 7 of our favorite gaming trends. We want to shout out to Rio Grande Games. Thank you very much, Jay Tomlinson, for sending games to Moon City Con.
Rio Grande publishes my favorite game in Concordia, designed by Matt Gertz. They also have some other games. Woodcraft by Vladimir Suchi, Free Ride from Friedman Fries, and check out their brand new game, Moon Colony Bloodbath. That is me and Andrea's current game of the year. Check out RioGrandeGames.com or contact your friendly local game store and get your Rio Grande game. The 7 in the 417 Gamer podcast, we like to talk about our favorite 7 in a given category, and we're talking about gaming trends. Andrea, would you like to start us off with a gaming trend that you like?
I know we said that it was sometimes they overdo a theme, and one of those themes was dragon games. We had a lot of dragon games come out all at the same time. But I liked it.
But I liked it.
I have really enjoyed some of the reissues of older games. So that's that. So you did number 7. I'm doing number 6. The really nice Castles of Burgundy. The new Reiner Knizias that are kind of re-themes of other stuff. The Through the Desert was a really nice version by Allplay. There's a lot of games that didn't have the best components back in the early 2000s, and they were excellent games. El Grande is another one. El Grande, the 99 2000 version is kind of fugly.
It had a case of the browns.
Yeah, and the new version is very pretty. It's still me. It still might get friends to be mad at each other.
Perfect.
But it's pretty. Jess, number 5?
Number 5, I'm actually going to throw out their small box games. I feel like they are really having their moment right now, and I am here for it. Like the Flip 7s of the universe, Trio from Happy Camper, Allplay is killing it with their small box games and their tiny box games that are my personal favorite. I just feel like even looking around back here, there are so many smaller box games than there were even a couple of years ago that are really good. And I feel like even more hardcore gamers, they're able to get their teeth into them, but they're not scary to maybe your beginner people because they're like, oh, it's just a deck of cards. Like I can do that, but there's a lot of meat there too.
Yeah.
I'll go back to number 4, and I will say a lot of game in a small box. DeVere Games with The White Castle, Red Cathedral, even Creature Comforts and Maple Valley. There's a lot of game in a quite a bit smaller package. We do like the small card games and the small box games, and those are slightly bigger boxes, but man, you can fit on a KLAX where you can fit like 4 to 5 of the Ticket to Ride box games. When you get those smaller DeVere, you can fit like 6 to 8 of those, and you're like, oh, I
have much more room for games.
I know.
We can go shopping.
Andrea, number 3?
I like that there has been a big influx in what I call theme in games. I really like there to be a story component. When it's just a game where you're just moving cubes from section to section, it kind of loses me. But if there's a story behind it, then I can follow along and I just enjoy it more. And I notice a lot of our newer games have that for me.
Totally agree.
Jess, number 2?
Number 2, I would say right now the trend I'm noticing is an uptick of some really solid kids games. Kids games are also hard to find good ones where you're like, ugh, I just don't like this at all. But I've got some friends with younger kids and I'm using them as guinea pigs, but like the Haba games, so like Animal Upon Animal, Here Fishy Fishy, but then they're coming out with games like Cascadia Junior, and it's actually like we played it with my 11-year-old and he even liked it. Like it's just, they're really solid games that are approachable for that younger audience, or even maybe the audience that Cascadia is not quite where their level is, and it's a great way to do it. Like some of the younger kid games or the junior versions of it, like Scythe, like My Little Scythe, the Scythe junior game, I make everybody play that when I teach them Scythe, because it gives you such a good grasp of the mechanics of the game that when you teach the actual game, they already know what they're doing. It's just now we were leveling up a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Man. I'll say, people getting back out and going to the game stores.
Yeah.
The pandemic, ruined a lot of things and made things tough and made people not want to leave their house. And your house is probably comfy.
Sure.
And it's very much an American societal thing where you build your house so comfy that you don't ever have to leave. But people getting back out and playing games.
Absolutely.
But I will say that during the pandemic, I do think it helped the industry of board games.
Absolutely.
A
Because
lot
there's
of
nothing else to do.
right, yeah. A lot of people were looking for something to keep the family entertained.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. I feel like the pandemic helped the board game industry, but kind of hurt how we are interacting with people. And I know we've talked about this before. Like, we all forgot how to be people for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're remembering how to be people. And then we're like, hey, I learned about these games. And so did you. Let's do that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the 7 in the 417Gamer podcast. Jess, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you can find her at Village Meeple here in Springfield, Missouri. What's the address here?
It's 1570 East Battlefield in Springfield. We're across from the mall behind Bricks and Minifigs.
Nice. So come out and play some games, and until next time, keep gaming in the 417. Goodbye.
Bye.
The 417 Gamer podcast is recorded and produced by Andrea and Rick Bagwell. The intro music we used, Kind, Gentle, Beautiful Person, and the outro music, Making Up for Lost Time, was created by Origami Reptica. For links to our show notes, the music, and guest links, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network. Until next time, keep gaming in the 417.